All right, so this is question number 30. Metal M is displaced from aqueous M nitrate by copper. So this is telling me that copper has displaced it, which simply means that copper is more reactive and this metal M is less reactive. According to that, I should know that if copper is more reactive than that thing, then hydrogen is definitely more reactive. So this thing can be reacted with anything that's above copper in the reactivity series. Another important reason is that this thing itself cannot react with dilute acids because metal cannot react with dilute acids because hydrogen is more reactive, so it cannot displace it. Similarly, the bonds that it forms are going to be pretty weak and break easily if you heat them up. So carbonates, as far as those go, they will break down quite easily. So this one saying M carbonate is stable. Of course, it's not. This thing is quite unreactive, and low reactivity means that carbonate will break down really easily. Metal oxide is reduced to M by heating with carbon. That is true. Carbon can displace it and form carbon dioxide. So yeah, this is going to work. M reacts with dilute HCl to give hydrogen. No, M is less reactive than hydrogen. It's less reactive than even copper, so it cannot react with acids. M reduces zinc oxide to zinc on heating. Again, zinc can displace it, but this cannot replace zinc because zinc is more reactive. So the answer is B. Which statement about some of the gases present in air is correct? All right. So dry air contains about 78% of oxygen. This is wrong. It should be nitrogen. Methane is produced by the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels. Actually, no. Methane can act as a fuel, but it is not produced as a result of any combustion reaction. There is only one reaction that we have studied in which methane is produced as a product, and that is cracking. So again, this is not right. Another process where methane is produced is vegetative decay. Again, this is not it. Sulfur dioxide is released by volcanoes. Yeah, that is true. Volcanoes have sulfur in them, and those sulfur and sulfur dioxide are produced when there is volcanic eruption. Noble gases make up 5% of dry air. No, they make less than 1% actually. And the gas that is most abundant in noble gases is argon. So that's something you must know. देखिए एमसीक्यूज का पेपर आपका अब हो रहा है, तो उसका मतलब है कि आपको बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें मेमोराइज करनी चाहिए और उन पे आपका बहुत ज़्यादा रिलाई कर रहा है ग्रेड. So these small facts, do make a notebook on the side and keep noting them down. After a few papers, you will know कि बहुत सारे facts आपके सामने हैं जो आप revise करके याद कर सकते हैं. Which treatment process is used to disinfect water? Now, all four here can be used to treat water, but disinfection specifically is done through chlorination. So yeah. A molecule of compound Q has 3 carbon-carbon single bonds and 10 carbon-hydrogen bonds only. It does not have any other bonds. So 3 carbon-carbon bonds and 10 carbon-hydrogen bonds. Okay. Which statement about compound Q is correct? Acha. Now, this is phrased in a way that can be confusing for students. Just because it says it has 3 carbon-carbon single bonds does not mean that it cannot have a double bond in it. It's possible कि उसके अंदर double bond हो, क्योंकि double bond single bond के बाद ही बनता है ना, ठीक है? So for that I would suggest कि आप इसको करके देखें. अब उसने कहा है कि सारी single bonds हैं, okay? 10 carbon hydrogen bonds. So C3H8 हम जानते हैं, C3H6 भी हम जानते हैं. That is possible. I'm still thinking 10 carbon hydrogen bonds कहाँ बनेंगी? हाँ, तब बन सकती हैं कि अगर हमारे पास ऐसा हो कि कोई और चीज़ भी है और ये हाइड्रोकार्बन ना हो, सिर्फ हाइड्रोकार्बन ना हो. तो इसने कहा है तो इसका मतलब है हो सकता है. इसने नहीं कहा हमें कि ये हाइड्रोकार्बन ही है. It might be something else. It can be polymerized because it has single bonds. That's not possible. It decolorizes. Again, that is a quality of double bonds. This one does not have that. It has 3 isomers. We don't have enough information to say that. And it reacts with chlorine by substitution. It has single carbon-carbon bonds. It has carbon-hydrogen bond. Yeah, it can do substitution reaction with chlorine. Yes, that is very much possible. Which organic compound requires the least number of moles of oxygen for the complete combustion? ओके, अब इसको आप इस तरह से देखो कि द नंबर ऑफ कार्बन्स टेल मी हाउ मच carbon dioxide is made, okay? And then we have hydrogen, and that's going to tell me how much water is made in combustion. Now, obviously that will require oxygen, but sometimes these compounds can produce can use the oxygen that they have in themselves. So अब देखो, जहां जहां 3 कार्बन है वहां पे तो 3 कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस होंगे, सॉरी 4 कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है, and similarly over here you have 4 carbon dioxide. This one will be 3 carbon dioxide, okay, and this one will require 4 water again. तो यहाँ पे हमें यहाँ पर भी 4 वाटर चाहिए, 4 वाटर चाहिए, 4 वाटर चाहिए, ओके। अब इस पे आप ये देखो कि जिसको वाटर तो सबको बराबर चाहिए, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड किसको कम बनने की which will produce less amount of carbon dioxide, this one, and then this requires 6 of oxygen atoms and this also requires 6 of oxygen atoms. But external oxygen kahan se aa rahi hai? It has 1 oxygen in it, so it actually requires 5 oxygen atoms from outside, and this requires all 6 oxygen atoms from outside. So iska matlab hai A is our answer. This will require the least number of oxygen from the outside. Okay, which reaction is an addition reaction? Making ethane and ethene, you are breaking a large hydrocarbon into smaller ones, so that is cracking. Making ethene and hydrogen, again cracking. Manufacture of margarine, you do this by converting vegetable oil, which is unsaturated, actually polyunsaturated, you convert that to saturated margarine. So yeah, this is addition. This is done through adding hydrogen जिसको हम hydrogenation भी कहते हैं, and you have nickel as a catalyst, and there's high temperature, no oxygen, all these requirements you need to remember. The reaction between ethene and oxygen giving carbon dioxide and water, that can be oxidation or combustion, but not addition. All right, 2 equations involving ethanol are shown. Just a minute. Okay. 2 equations involving ethanol are shown. Ethanol plus oxygen makes oxidation. There is oxidation and it produces carboxylic acid, we know that. Glucose also ferments to form ethanol and carbon dioxide. What catalyst do we need for the second reaction? What catalyst do we need for the second reaction? Come on. We need yeast, okay? And molecular formula of carboxylic acid in one, this is ethanol, it produces ethanoic acid, which is CH3COOH. So that's this one or this one. And because the second one requires a catalyst, the answer is C. What's the empirical formula of ethanoic acid? Again, this is from related to a previous one, CH3COOH, okay? So that is C2H4O2. So that's going to be CH2O. That's my empirical formula, okay? This is my molecular formula, D, and A is my empirical formula. Which structure represents propyl methanoate? अब इसमें आपने एक चीज ध्यान में रखनी है कि propyl means this is coming from the alcohol, and this is the alkyl group that is attached to oxygen. ठीक है? And methanoate means there is 1 carbon attached to the 2 oxygen. So हमारे पास HCOO and then methyl होना चाहिए, propyl होना चाहिए. तो ये हमारा आंसर होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे you have 1 carbon that is attached to the both the oxygen and one carbon that's attached, three carbons attached to the oxygen side. So this is propyl and this is methanoate. Okay, so that's how we know. Monomer Z is used to make polychloroethene. What's the monomer Z? How do you get monomers? You first identify the repeating unit. So this is a repeating unit. लिख लिया हमने. Now you draw it without the outer bonds and then introduce, ये आपने बना दिया. Now introduce double bond here and that's your monomer. You identify the repeating unit, draw it without the outer bonds, then introduce the double bond. तो ये हमारे पास बन गया and this is going to be C. Terraline, a man-made fiber, is used to make clothing. Which row describes how terraline is manufactured? For that, you have to understand what terraline, what kind of linkage does it have. So terraline has ester linkage in it. It is also called a polyester, okay? So because of that polyester thing, you will need condensation reaction because you want to form ester linkage. And you will need to start with acid and alcohol. So your answer is going to be B. All right. Any questions on this? All right, moving on to the next paper. This is May, June 2018, variant 1, 2. I'm doing these variants. You can do the other variants. And if you have any question, then we can certainly go through them. All right. We have 40 questions here and we have roughly 40 minutes. I would suggest that in the exam, keep the idea that for one question, you have a little less than 90 seconds. Okay, so that's 1.5 minutes for each question. And obviously some questions are longer, some questions are shorter, some questions you need to come back and revise. So इस वजह से manage your time effectively. All right, a student wants to show the rate of reaction between calcium carbonate and dilute HCl acid doubles for every 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature. ठीक है, अब उसको क्या करना चाहिए? उसको obviously temperature को change करना है और rate of reaction measure करना है. Rate of reaction कैसे measure कर सकते हैं? Acid का carbonate से reaction हो रहा है metal carbonate के साथ. That means it will produce carbon dioxide, okay? And you can either measure the amount of carbon dioxide present or you can measure the change in mass of the solution. Both of those are valid methods of finding out rate of reaction, okay? And obviously you have to measure temperature. So यहाँ पे हमें क्या क्या चाहिए? हमें temperature measure करना है. हमें उसको डिपेंडिंग ऑन कि हम करना क्या चाह रहे हैं उसके साथ बैलेंस अगर यूज़ कर रहे हैं हम तो उसके मतलब है कि हमें रिएक्शन को करते हुए देखना है कि उसका टेम्परेचर कितना है, कितने टाइम में कितनी चेंज इन मास हो रही है. ठीक है, तो उसके लिहाज से हमारे पास यहाँ पर B is a good option because with balance we can measure the change in mass. Measuring cylinder we can put the things in and do the reaction. Clock will allow us to figure out the time and thermometer allows us to measure the temperature. Okay. For the others, I don't think first one will work because balance of burette और pipette से आप क्या करोगे? Measuring cylinder में उसको add करोगे ना time measure कर रहा है ना thermometer से temperature measure कर रहा है. So thermometer is necessary, clock is necessary, and something else to measure mass. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास ये या अगर mass नहीं measure करना, then volume is also necessary. So you have to remember what factors there are and what variables you are measuring. Which mixture can be separated into its components by adding water, stirring, and filtering? So again, this is about stirring, filtering. क्या हो रहा है? Basically एक soluble चीज़ हो, एक insoluble हो, हम उसको separate कर सकते हैं. This is again salt and sand वाला process. So let's see इनमें से कौन सा soluble है, कौन सा insoluble है. I'm going to put S and I to represent that. Calcium carbonate is insoluble, sodium chloride is soluble. So we can do that with this. Yes. मैग्नीशियम एंड आयरन आर बोथ इनसॉल्युबल, तो इनसे दोनों सेपरेट नहीं होंगे, दोनों फिल्टर करके रेजिड्यू में रह जाएंगे. दिस इज सॉल्युबल, दिस इज सॉल्युबल. ब्लू कलर होता है कॉपर 2 सल्फेट का, तो हमें दोनों अलहदा करना बहुत मुश्किल है. एंड दे आर बोथ सॉल्युबल एज वेल. सो दिस इज द आंसर ए. दिस इज अगेन सॉल्ट एंड सैंड प्रोसीजर. विच रो गिव्स द करेक्ट टेस्ट टू आइडेंटिफाई बोथ अमोनिया एंड सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड? अमोनिया को भी अलहदा करना है, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड को भी अलहदा करना है. डोंट थिंक कि आपको दोनों के लिए एक मिल जाएगा टेस्ट. दोनों के नेचर में बहुत फर्क है. अमोनिया इज बेसिक, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड इज acidic. Not only that, ammonia cannot be oxidized, but sulfur dioxide can be oxidized to make sulfur trioxide. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो इनमें डिफर करती हैं. और इनका नेचर तो एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट है. सो टू टेस्ट अमोनिया वी विल नीड डैम्प ब्लू लिटमस पेपर. अगर हमारे पास वो हो तो हमें वो ब्लू ही रहेगा, पता ही कुछ नहीं लगना. बट अगर रेड होगा तो इट विल टर्न ब्लू एंड वी विल नो. सो दीज टू आर गुड ऑप्शंस. विल रिजेक्ट A and B. And sulfur dioxide we know can be further oxidized, so using an oxidizing agent is a good idea. So yeah, C is our answer. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब यहाँ पर आप देखो कि वो आप ये भी कह सकते हो कि अगर मेरे पास डैम्प ब्लू लिटमस पेपर हो तो हाउ इज दैट रॉन्ग? It's not wrong. Damp blue litmus paper will turn red for sulfur dioxide. So that is going to tell us that it is an acidic gas. But it could be true for chlorine. It could be true for carbon dioxide. ठीक है. So हमारे लिए सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड का जो conclusive test है, that is this: chlorine cannot be oxidized, carbon dioxide cannot be oxidized further. So sulfur dioxide is the only one in these gases in our syllabus that can be reacted with potassium manganate to produce another oxide. ठीक है. तो that's the conclusive answer. D गलत नहीं है, but D is not the best choice. Okay, two gases, ammonia and hydrogen chloride. Notice how it called it hydrogen chloride, not hydrochloric acid, because यहाँ पे पानी नहीं है. At an equal pressure are allowed to enter the apparatus shown. Equal pressure का मतलब probably होगा कि equal moles भी हैं. After a time a white solid forms on the inside. White solid क्यों बन रहा है? HCl और अमोनिया का रिएक्शन हो रहा है, अमोनियम क्लोराइड व्हाइट सॉलिड बन रहा है. और देखें ये सवाल आई डोंट नो, ये बचपन से आ रहा है, मेरे बचपन से ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है. ठीक है. और डिफ्यूजन और उनके बारे में ही रिलेट करता है इनको. ऑलराइट, सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज, कौन सी स्टेटमेंट से व्हाइट सॉलिड की अपीयरेंस कैन बी एक्सप्लेन्ड? Ammonia and hydrogen chloride react to form solid ammonium chloride. Yeah, they do. That is true. Ammonia diffuses faster than hydrogen chloride. Yes, because that is telling me that this distance is larger and this distance is smaller. So HCl has traveled lesser distance. Yeah. And why is that? Ammonia has a lower relative molecular mass than hydrogen chloride. Yeah, that is the reason according to Graham's law of diffusion. हमने पढ़ा था grade 9 में. So we know that relative mass of ammonia is less, so for HCl it's higher, and your rate of diffusion depends on that. Remember that your velocity or rate of diffusion is inversely related to mass. ठीक है. तो जिसका mass ज़्यादा होगा उसका rate कम होगा, और जिसका mass कम होगा उसका rate ज़्यादा है. This is Graham's law. You don't have to memorize it. I just teach it to my students. It's fine. अगर आपने याद नहीं किया हुआ कोई मसला नहीं. Just remember that mass is inversely related to this. Another way to remember the factors that affect diffusion is kinetic energy formula that you study in physics. So kinetic energy is half mv squared. So if I make velocity the subject, that tells me that velocity is 2 kinetic energy over mass, or iska square root. So if you notice, then what's happening is that kinetic energy is directly related and mass is inversely related. So that tells me that basically what's happening is that I have, if I change the temperature, it directly affects it, and if I change the mass, it inversely affects the speed or the rate of diffusion. The atomic number of cerium is this. Okay, a cerium positive 4 ion has 140 nucleons in its nucleus. Remember one thing कि अगर उसने हमें atomic number बता दिया तो उसने हमें बता दिया कि न्यूट्रल एटम में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कितने हैं, और अगर उसने हमें न्यूक्लियॉन्स बता के आयन बोला तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ही इज जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर आइसोटोप. चार्ज से उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता. How many protons, neutrons and electrons are there in one cerium positive 4 ion? Now remember that because the proton number is 58, the original number of electrons were also 58, and because this has positive 4, it has lost 4 electrons. So 58 and 54 वाली option आपने select करनी है, and that is only one. First one. And if you want to figure out the neutrons, then all you got to do is subtract 58 from 140 to figure that out. The diagram shows the arrangement of 3 solids X, Y, and Z. Okay. Krypton, potassium, and sodium chloride. Krypton, you know, is gas. Bonds नहीं बनाती, monoatomic होती है. So that is going to be krypton. This one Z. Z is krypton. So that is this answer. Sodium chloride is ionic, so it's going to be X, and potassium is a metal. Metals have layers of cations. You can see that these are layers equally spaced out and cloud of electrons. और यहाँ पे आप देखो कि electrons are not equally spaced out. If you notice closely, then these are close together, these are far apart, these are very close together, these are further apart. This is supposed to tell us how they are randomly arranged, okay? And that is why when you're drawing them as well, make sure they are randomly arranged, the electrons, okay? Which statement about solid calcium chloride is correct? Solid calcium chloride है, आयनिक बॉन्डिंग तो होगी, दैट मीन सॉलिड में वो कंडक्ट नहीं कर सकता, और आयनिक बॉन्डिंग है तो स्ट्रॉन्ग मेल्टिंग फोर्सेस हैं, हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होगा, पानी में डिजॉल्व होना या ना होना इज लाइक समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू मेमोराइज. सो उसके लिए सॉल्युबिलिटी रूल्स अगर आप याद रखें तो उससे आपको पता चल जाएगा. कैल्शियम क्लोराइड इज सॉल्युबल because chlorides are insoluble for silver and lead, and this is neither one of them. So it's इसलिए हमारा answer is going to be C, that it is an ionic lattice structure. Okay. Ethane and ammonia are covalent compounds. Okay. The dot and cross diagram show this. Which statements are correct? Okay. A molecule of ethane contains twice as many hydrogen atoms as molecules of ammonia. That is true. उसमें 3 है, इसमें 6 हैं. That is true. An unreacted nitrogen atom has 5 outer electrons. That is also true. Nitrogen is group 5. It has 5 valence electrons. In a molecule of ethane, the bond between carbon atoms is formed by sharing 2 electrons, one from each carbon atom. That is also true because covalent bond है, तो एक carbon atom आपस में share, एक electron each carbon atom is going to provide for the sharing. So yeah, these 3 statements seem correct. Which statement about structure or bonding of metal is correct? A metal lattice consists of atoms in a sea of electrons. No, they are cations, remember that. Electrons in a metal move randomly. No. Metals are malleable because the particles are mobile. No, electrons are mobile, but that doesn't affect its malleability. Ions in a metal move when positive and negative electrodes are attached. Actually, no. क्योंकि हमारे पास यहाँ पर पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड से आयंस मूव नहीं करते, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स करते हैं, एंड दैट इज व्हाई द आंसर है वुड बी बी. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन अ मेटल मूव रैंडमली थ्रू आउट द लैटिस. Alright, next. When one volume of gas R reacts with exactly 5 volumes of oxygen. So देखें, 1 of R reacts with 5 of oxygen. Notice that volume ratio is the same as mole ratio. Forms carbon dioxide and water only. Okay, तो इसका मतलब है 5 ऑक्सीजन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहे हैं, तो 5 ऑक्सीजन होंगे तो 10 ऑक्सीजन एटम्स बनेंगे. अच्छा, अब इसको देखते हैं हम. क्या बनाता है ये? दिस इज गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस 4 कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड 5 वाटर, बिकॉज देयर इज 10 हाइड्रोजन तो 5 वाटर बनेंगे और 4 कार्बन तो 4 कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बनेंगे. दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू यूज 10 ऑक्सीजन, इट्स गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस यूज मच मोर देन दैट. This one, 2 CO2 plus 3 H2O. Let's see. Nope, not right. Again, ये तो बहुत थोड़ा बनेगा. इसमें 2 water बनेंगे because there is 4 hydrogen and 1 carbon dioxide. And this is 3 carbon dioxide and 4 water because 4 times 2 is 8 hydrogen. And this is going to use 10 oxygen because you notice 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 1 is 4, so total 10 oxygen. So yeah, this is right. The relative molecular mass of a compound is 166. Okay, what is the possible molecular formula? Notice that we do not know what compound it is, we just have to figure it out using the molecular formula. तो ठीक है, हम इनका MR निकालते हैं और हमें उसका पता चल सकता है. So this is going to be 48 plus 3 plus 32. This is going to be 12 times 6, 72 plus 4 plus 48, and this is going to be 12, again 72 plus 8 plus 32, and this is going to be 96 plus 6 plus 48. I don't have a calculator, just add them up and you will see कि कौन सा possible है. ठीक है, so that is going to be our answer. Judging by the looks of it, I think it is the last one क्योंकि उसका MR 166 लग रहा है मुझे कि हो जाएगा. A mass of 63 grams of potassium manganate is needed for complete oxidation of 23 grams of alcohol. Okay. How many moles of ethanol can be completely oxidized by 1 mole of potassium manganate? All right. So potassium manganate का हमें पहले हम ये देख लेते हैं कि 23 ग्राम ऑफ ethanol कितना होता है. 23 ग्राम of ethanol. Ethanol has an MR of 46. So this is half mole. Half mole of ethanol is converted by 63 gram of potassium manganate. मुझे potassium manganate का MR calculate करना पड़ेगा. So use a periodic table to figure this out. Okay. So molecular formula of KMnO4. Oh sorry, molecular mass. तो ये हमारे पास बन जाएगा 158. Yeah, so this is 158. So that tells me that if I have 158 of potassium manganate, then that should be 1 mole. यहाँ पर कितना है? 63. What is 158 divided by 63? Sorry, 63 divided by 158. तो आप देख लो कि हमारे पास रेशो क्या बन रहा है. 0.3987, तो 0.4 बन रहा है. So half mole, 0.5 mole ethanol requires 0.4 mole KMnO4. That's the ratio that you're getting. तो 1 mole को कितना चाहिए होगा हमें यहाँ से पता चल जाएगा. ठीक है. I think 0.80 is the answer. All right. The diagram shows an electrolysis experiment using inert electrodes. What could liquids be? यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है? Ratios देखें. One gas is double the other. जब भी ये होता है तो इसका मतलब है water breakdown हुआ है. Water का breakdown होता है. Electrolysis of dilute acids. Remember this thing. If you have electrolysis of dilute acid, it's going to be water that breaks down. And if you have electrolysis of what do you say? Concentrated acid, it is the acid that's going to break down. So HCl की concentrated solution को अगर हम करते हैं तो हाइड्रोजन और क्लोरीन प्रोड्यूस होंगे. लेकिन अगर डाइल्यूट करेगी तो हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन प्रोड्यूस होगी और वो हाइड्रोजन पानी से आ रही है. तो द अमाउंट विल बी 2:1 फॉर हाइड्रोजन and ऑक्सीजन. So every time this happens, you know right away it's a dilute acid. So ये C है. D कर नहीं सकता because not an electrolyte. A में copper metal है, copper जो produce होगा sorry, and that is because copper is less reactive than hydrogen. तो जब भी water breakdown हो रहा है तो dilute acid है और जब acid breakdown हो रहा है तो concentrated acid है. ये ज़हन में रख लें आप. Magnesium can be produced by electrolysis of molten magnesium chloride. Okay, that's fine. What are the products formed at the anode and the cathode during the electrolysis of molten magnesium chloride? एक साइड पे क्लोरीन आएगी, एक साइड पे मैग्नीशियम आएगा, बात खत्म. अब मैग्नीशियम कैथोड पे आएगा क्योंकि it is positive ion, so it's going to go towards the negative electrodes, cathode. So it's going to be B. दूसरी साइड पे क्लोरीन, एक साइड पे मैग्नीशियम. A diagram shows the apparatus that can be used to extract aluminium. We know कि क्या होता है यहाँ पे. J is our anode, which is made of carbon, which needs to be regularly replaced. L is the molten aluminium that we get, and K is a solution, actually a mixture of aluminium oxide and cryolite. Cryolite क्यों use करते हैं? Because cryolite is going to lower the energy cost by reducing the melting point. It makes the process cheaper. It makes the process easier to handle. क्योंकि आपको बहुत ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर डील नहीं करना पड़ रहा है तो एनर्जी कॉस्ट कम हो रही है, इक्विपमेंट कॉस्ट कम हो रही है. दैट्स व्हाई वी यूज क्रायोलाइट. बाय द वे, क्रायोलाइट इज one of those metal ores which are quite low in the world by now. We have mined too much of it. All right, so यहाँ से हमें पता चल गया है J is our anode, which is positive electrode, and we have a mixture of aluminium oxide and cryolite, and it's going to produce aluminium, so it's going to be D. So we're done with half of this paper, which is good. In 20 minutes, good speed. A reaction is exothermic. Final stage of energy is going to be lesser than the initial one. So A और B तो हो ही नहीं सकते. C हो सकता है, D हो सकता है. अब देखते हैं डेल्टा H. डेल्टा H is always from the starting to the ending. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर हमारे पास D is the one that's telling me कि starting कहाँ से है और ending कहाँ पे है सही तरह से. तो starting value is higher one and lower value is the ending value. So इस वजह से हमें D is the right answer. Which fraction is used as a fuel? You need to remember uses of 4 or 5 different fractions. तो fuel के लिए हम kerosene को use करते हैं, and this is a fact that you have to remember. Facts के अंदर concept नहीं है, बस याद करना है उनको. Sure, there are reasons why we use that, but we don't have to get into those. The equation for photosynthesis is shown. Okay, which statement about photosynthesis is correct? All right. Photosynthesis we know is an endothermic process. Okay, it uses the sunlight energy from sun. Okay, so which statement is correct? It has a negative enthalpy change. Not really. It's an endothermic process. It's catalyzed by the presence of yeast. No, that is ethanol. Production of fermentation of ethanol. Products of photosynthesis are oxygen and starch. Actually, it produces oxygen and glucose, and that glucose is then stored. So starch directly produced nahi ho raha hai. It occurs in green leaves. Yes, you need a catalyst which is present in green leaves. So yeah, that is the answer. All right. Compound X reacts with an acid to produce sulfur dioxide. Okay. A sample of X is placed in a flask and acid is added. The sulfur dioxide produced is collected and its volume is measured. Alright, so हमें नज़र आ रहा है कि volume कितनी produce हुई है और time कितना लगा है. Roughly before 5 minutes, reaction is complete. Which statement about this experiment is correct? The gas can be collected by displacing water from a measuring cylinder. अब इसमें आप ये ध्यान में रखो कि sulfur dioxide is soluble in water. So this won't be like you will lose a lot of gas this way. वो dissolve होके acid sulfurous acid बना देगी और हमारे लिए वो ज़ाया हो जाएगी. The mass of reaction flask and its contents decreases. Yeah, that is true because the gas is going out, the mass is going to reduce. The rate of reaction increases. Nope, the gradient you can see from the curve is decreasing. So इसका मतलब है rate कम हो रहा है. The reaction is still proceeding after 8 minutes. Actually, no, it ended a little before 5 minutes because the volume is flat. The graph that tells me कि इससे ज़्यादा produce नहीं हो रहा. All right. Which reaction involves oxidation and reduction? Okay. Chlorine gas reacting with potassium iodide. Displacement reaction है. So yeah, this is reduction and oxidation redox reaction होगा. Chlorine will reduce, iodide will oxidize. Dilute sulfuric acid reacting with magnesium. Again, magnesium will oxidize and hydrogen will reduce. Redox reaction. Dilute HCl reacting with aqueous sodium hydroxide. No neutralization है ये. Acid based reaction है. This is not right. This is not redox. So ये हमारे पास 1 and 2 only. All right. Oh, now we are done with half the questions. All right. Nitrogen reacts with oxygen in an equilibrium reaction. ठीक है. When the reaction is at equilibrium, which statement is correct? So the concentration of nitrogen present will change with time. No, हो भी सकता है, ठीक है, but over time change नहीं होगी. Concentration same रह जाएगी क्योंकि equilibrium achieve हो गया. जब तक equilibrium achieve नहीं हुआ था तब तक ही change हो रहा था. The forward and backward reaction are taking place at the same rate. That is the definition of what an equilibrium is. So yeah, this is right. Forward reaction releases heat energy. No, this is endothermic. We can see it's positive delta H. There are more molecules on the left hand side of the equation than on the right. Actually, the number of moles is same on both sides. So 1 nitrogen, 1 oxygen makes 2 in total and 2 NO on the right side. So overall same. All right, lead 2 oxide reacts with dilute nitric acid. ठीक है? Lead is a metal, so lead 2 oxide is going to be basic and it will neutralize the acid. Lead 2 oxide also reacts with potassium sodium hydroxide, neutralizing the alkali. इसका मतलब है कि lead 2 oxide basic भी है और acidic भी है. That means it's going to act as amphoteric solution or amphoteric solid. So this is C. Which pair of reagents are most suitable for lab preparation of copper 2 chloride? अब इसके लिए आपको डायरेक्टली आंसर को नहीं देखना है, आपको पहले सोचना है कि what do you need? You need copper 2 chloride which is soluble. सॉल्युबल प्रोसेसेस के लिए आपको ये देखना है कि मुझे बनाना भी है सॉल्ट और मुझे एक्सट्रैक्ट भी करना है. तो यू नीड टू गेट इट इन अ वे इन विच वन थिंग इज in excess, the other is limiting, and you can extract the copper 2 chloride easily. So you have to think this through. So this means you're going to use probably something solid and something that is aqueous. So I personally think that D would be a good option because copper 2 oxide is solid. You will heat it up in acid and they will react, producing copper 2 chloride and water. And you know that copper 2 oxide solid is, तो उसको मैं extract कर लूँगा through filtration. So we will get it as a residue, the extra copper 2 oxide that you have. So that means copper 2 oxide must be in excess. और जो हमारे पास copper chloride है उसको हम filter करके जो filtrate है उसको हम evaporation और crystallization के through we'll collect it. The compound show can be used as nitrogenous fertilizers, okay? Which compound has the lowest percentage by mass of nitrogen? MR is given, you just have to calculate how much nitrogen we have. So this is 2 times 2n, so that is 2 times 14, 28. This is again 2n, so that is also 28. This is 3n, so that is 14 times 3, 42. And this is 2n again, so that is 28. अब आपने ये देखना है which has the lowest percentage to 28 divided by 60 into 100%. So I think it's going to be B, but that's just my guess based on these numerator values. You can obviously do the calculations on a calculator and you will know कि कौन सा सबसे कम है. क्या करना है? Mass of nitrogen that you have 28 or 42 divided by the MR that you have, और उसको 100% से multiply करना. Okay, contact process. The diagram shows 3 steps in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. In what step is a catalyst used? क्या होता है? सल्फर को सबसे पहले बर्न करते हैं, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड बनती है, उसको कैटलिस्ट के थ्रू सल्फर ट्राइऑक्साइड बनाते हैं, उसको पानी में ऐड करके सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बनाते हैं. एक्चुअली पानी में ऐड करके ओलियम बनाते हैं जिससे सल्फ्यूरिक H+4 में ऐड करते हैं, ओलियम बनता है और उसको फिर पानी में ऐड करते हैं, सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बनता है, या डायरेक्ट पानी में ऐड करके सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बना लेते हैं, लेकिन दैट इज वेरी एक्सोथर्मिक. So in what step is a catalyst used? G. So the catalyst that we need is vanadium 5 oxide and that is used in step Q. तो बाकी सब में हमें नहीं चाहिए, हमें Q में चाहिए. Indium, named after India actually, is in group 3 of the periodic table. Antimony is in group 5. Okay. Which statement comparing indium and antimony is correct? Notice that metallic character means losing electrons. So obviously things that are in lower group numbers, 1, 2, 3, will lose electrons much faster than things that are in higher group numbers like 5, 7, or 8. Okay? So antimony has lower metallic character according to this because it's in group 5. And it is in group 5, so इसके पास 5 electrons in the last shell. So based on this, I can say that indium has higher metallic character and antimony has more valency electrons. So yeah, that is going to be C. The position of 4 elements are shown. All right. Which element is a solid non-metals? So solid non-metal means that you have iodine, carbon, and a bunch of others, but हमारे syllabus में यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि group 7 में state change होती है as you go down. First 2 are gases, then you have a liquid, then you have a solid. So iodine is 1, so D is the answer for solid. A will be a metal, C will be gas, and B will also be gas. 3 elements which show oxidation states of 2 and 3. So they are definitely transition metals. To which part of the periodic table do these elements belong? Transition metal. Different show कर रहे हैं, तो इस वजह से transition कर रहे हैं. Brass is an alloy. Which statement about brass is correct? Brass क्या है? Alloy है. Alloy क्या होता है? Mixture of metals. Does it have metallic bonding? Yes. Metals are just mixed together. Chemically, they are still the same thing. ठीक है? So इस वजह से हमारे पास which statement is correct? It contains a sea of electrons. Yes, any metal contains a sea of electrons. तो metal का mixture भी होगा उसके अंदर भी sea of electrons होगा. All right. Copper 2 oxide reacts with carbon when heated. Why does it react? Because carbon is more reactive. कॉपर इज लेस रिएक्टिव, सो इस वजह से रिएक्शन हो जाता है. स्टेट्स क्या होंगी? कॉपर ऑक्साइड इज सॉलिड, कार्बन इज सॉलिड, कॉपर इज सॉलिड, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज गैस. तो हमारा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता इसका मैस कम होता जाएगा. दिस इज ब्लैक, this is black, and this is pink. So after a while you will see that you are getting more and more pink copper. Okay. All right, so what's happening here? Carbon is actually acting as a reducing agent, and copper 2 oxide is acting as an oxidizing agent. Okay, so carbon is a reducing agent. That's the answer. The diagram shows a cell that can be used to extract a metal from its oxide. Okay. So in सबको उसने ऑक्सीडाइज किया, aluminium oxide, copper 2 oxide, lead 2 oxide, magnesium oxide. Each cell receives the same number of electrons, means that the number of moles is the same because they all have power positive 2. Which statement is correct? All right. देखते हैं. First one says all the metals can be extracted by their oxide using coke. Coke is carbon. Anything that is more reactive than carbon will not be able to be oxidized like this or reduced like this. So magnesium नहीं काम करेगा. So इस वजह से we will say that's not right. Aluminium के लिए भी carbon काम नहीं करेगा. Anode and cathode should be made of the metal being extracted. Not necessarily you can use carbon because you're doing electrolysis, तो ये खुद ही separate हो रहे हैं. अगर आपके पास प्योरीफाई करना हो तो उसके लिए हम उस मेटल से उसे बनाते हैं. जैसे कॉपर की प्योरीफिकेशन में we use copper as the cathode, pure copper as the cathode, and impure copper as the anode. Pure metal is always produced at the cathode. Yeah, that is right. Metal always go to the cathode because they are positive ions, so they will go to the positive side, the terminal that is negative. Same mass of each metal is produced. Actually, same number of moles of each metal is produced, and because these are different metals, their mass can be different. So it is C. Iron is obtained in the blast furnace from the ore hematite. Okay, which process takes place in the blast furnace? क्या होता है blast furnace में? आपके पास कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट होता है, कोक होता है, आयरन 2 ऑक्साइड होता है, सिलिकॉन डाइऑक्साइड इम्प्योरिटीज होती हैं, और हेमाटाइट से आप आयरन एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं थ्रू अ redox reaction. It's not thermal decomposition, it is redox reaction. Carbon and carbon monoxide are the reducing agents, and hematite is the one that is reduced, और iron हमारे पास मिल जाता है हमें. And the impurities are taken care of by limestone, which is calcium carbonate. So this is A. Again, facts that you have to remember about blast furnace. Aircraft manufacture requires a metal that has a low density because fly करना है, the lower the mass, easier and less fuel it takes. Is resistant to corrosion because obviously air can be moist and corrosion can be a problem in maintenance and everything. Which of these conditions does aluminium satisfy? Both of them actually. Aluminium has a low density and aluminium has a layer of oxide which is impervious. So is why I say aluminium is very good for both of these properties. Which pair of gases are both non-acidic? Non-acidic का मतलब ये है कि वो neutral भी हो सकता है और basic भी हो सकता है. Ammonia is basic, methane is neutral, so they're both non-acidic. Carbon dioxide is acidic, so B can't be the answer. Methane and nitrogen dioxide is acidic, and nitrogen dioxide and carbon dioxide are both acidic, so the answer, as we have already said, is A. Seawater is desalinated to make it drinkable. What is the main substance removed by desalination? Desalination is basically removing salt. So that is sodium chloride. नाम से ही जाहिर है. Obviously, बाकी चीज़ें होती हैं उसमें जिनको हम purify करते हैं, but that's not desalination. That's some other processes. Which diagram shows a branched chain isomer of butane? Branched भी होना चाहिए और chain भी होना चाहिए. ठीक है, कोई मसला नहीं है. और आइसोमर भी होना चाहिए. तो हमारे पास ब्रांच यहाँ पर कौन सी है? कैसे पता चलता है कि ब्रांच है या नहीं है? You basically start at one end of the molecule and you connect all the carbons without lifting a pencil. If I try to do that here, I can maybe connect 3 और चौथा ब्रांच में चला जाएगा. मैं कहता हूँ कि नहीं, मैंने दूसरे को करना है, तो I can simply do it. Sorry. I can do it like this, and the fourth one is still in a branch. In this case, I can join them all without lifting a pen, not lifting a pen, not lifting a pen. I've joined them all. So these are not branched isomers. They are just long chain, but A is branched. Okay. 37. A straight chain alkene undergoes an addition reaction with bromine. Straight chain है, इसका मतलब है कि उसमें कोई ब्रांच नहीं है, सारे कार्बन एक ही रो में है. एडिशन रिएक्शन में एक चीज आपने ध्यान में रखनी होती है कि नेवर एवर डू द टू थिंग्स कमिंग इन गो टू द सेम कार्बन. दे गो ऑन ईदर कार्बन. सब्स्टिट्यूशन में हो सकता है कि वो सेम कार्बन पे आ जाए, ठीक है, लेकिन एडिशन में दे ऑलवेज गो टू द टू कार्बन्स दैट आर अटैच्ड टू ईच अदर. तो इसका मतलब है कि बी इज द आंसर. ए में क्या हो रहा है? ए में एक कार्बन सेकंड कार्बन है, एक थर्ड कार्बन है और एक फर्स्ट कार्बन है. उनका आपस में कोई डबल बॉन्ड तो है नहीं, तो इनके पास कहां से ब्रोमीन आई? सब्स्टिट्यूशन से. यहां पर ये दोनों आपस में डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड है. एडिशन से आ सकती है, सब्स्टिट्यूशन से आ सकती है, दोनों से हो सकता है. यहां पर फर्स्ट कार्बन पे है और फोर्थ कार्बन पे है. अगेन सब्स्टिट्यूशन इज द ओनली आंसर. उनकी आपस में तो बॉन्ड थी नहीं जो डबल बॉन्ड टूटी हो, तो एडिशन नहीं है. And again, this one is just one bromine, so that is definitely substitution. So इस वजह से our answer is B, because that's where the two carbons were connected together. The diagram shows structure of oxalic acid, which alcohol is oxidized to form oxalic acid. ठीक है, हमें अल्कोहल चाहिए जो दो साइड से ऑक्सीडाइज होकर कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड बने. तो दो साइड से डायोल ही बनेगा, तो वो C या D हो सकता है. लेकिन D में हमारे पास 4 कार्बन है और ऑक्सैलिक एसिड हैज जस्ट 2 कार्बन, सो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी C, क्योंकि वो दोनों साइड से ऑक्सीडाइज भी हो सकता है और उसके पास 2 कार्बन भी है. 39. Some properties of compound J are listed. Okay, it reacts with potassium carbonate to produce carbon dioxide. Could be acid. Could be acid. It reacts with ethanol to produce sweet smelling liquid. Yeah, it is producing ester, so ये acid है और carboxylic acid है. It reacts with sodium hydroxide to produce salt. Confirmed acid और carboxylic है, क्योंकि दूसरे salts, दूसरे acid sweet smelling liquid नहीं बना सकते. So it's going to be acid, so एक ही option है A. The diagram shows the formula of nylon. You can see that nylon has two repeating units here. There is one that is here and there is one that is here. Notice the number of carbons. इसमें हमारे पास बीच में 4 कार्बन्स वाला CH2 है और दोनों साइड्स पे COO है. इसका मतलब है COOH होगा, ये डाइकार्बोक्सिलिक है with CH2 4 in the middle. So our dicarboxylic should have CH2 4 in the middle. So ये हो सकता है और ये हो सकता है. ये नहीं हो सकता, क्यों? And then the amine, the diamine that we have, it has NH2 on both sides, obviously before it is like polymerized. और इसमें मिडिल में 6 कार्बन है, तो 6 कार्बन with NH2, so ये हो सकता है और ये हो सकता है. So that means our answer is C, because it satisfies both the monomers. All right, that is the paper. I hope आपको समझ आ गया होगा. अगर कोई questions हैं, feel free to ask.